Right, so this is inside the cemetery. Significantly different to the cemeteries that we've visited for the British, the Commonwealth, Belgians, etc. We've got a little book here, a little guide book, and it does say obviously it's a very sombre place. This was the site of the first part of the first Battle of Ypres, like I just mentioned, where the Germans, all volunteers and students, had to march for a couple of days to get here, and then they were forced into battle that night, and they were completely debilitated, and they were totally destroyed pretty much by the Allied machine guns. There is a myth that the Germans, the young Germans, went into battle singing Deutschland, Deutschland and hymns, but almost knowing they was going to the deaths. Whether this happened or not is we don't know, but obviously Hitler used that as a propaganda tool and a reason as to why we were wrong and he was right. And then going on to, that was in 1914, going on to 1915, and the second Battle of Ypres was another significant moment in this area. In Langermark where chlorine gas, the first time gas was used, or any weapon of mass destruction was used, was right here. This was where the very first gas canisters were opened. What they did was they lined them out along the front. Obviously this is the front. We'll show you the pillboxes that mark the front of the German lines in a minute. And they lined them across. They waited for the wind, so the wind come behind them, and went out into the Ypres salient where all the English, Canadians and the Allies were, and the wind basically took the gas with them, and as a result people died, were very, very ill, and that was obviously that was the first use of it in 1915. So just have a look at some of these. Just have a look at some of these. You can see. So they've not got individual graves. These are burials, and there's 2, 4. There's 4 in this one. It looks like there's 4 in most, and the dates on them: 4th, the 11th, 14. So that would have been the first Battle of Ypres. These would have died in the first Battle of Ypres. So these would have been young volunteers. These would have been possibly students, volunteers who wouldn't really have much of a choice in coming to war. Again, the dates on there, all around the 11th month, 1914. Same. So all these, first Battle of Ypres. These the people in these graves would have just I mean, you couldn't really imagine what it must have been like. The likelihood is that they wouldn't have wanted, they wouldn't have wanted, they would have been recruited in terms of pulled out of schools, colleges, and told they were going to the front line of the Western Front. They had very little equipment. They had they were exposed, and they didn't have a chance. They were just fodder. And in the end, when obviously they were killed, unlike the British and the Allies who took their war dead, these were dumped in mass graves around the Ypres salient up until the end of the war, when the British and the Belgians put them all in, you know, give them all a grave, which is dignifying given the what happened here.